today's video, I'll be comparing a full team of maxed out limited units to a full team of secrets to see which team is best in SpongeBob Tower Defense. So make sure you watch until the end to see which rarity wins. And without any wording, let's list out every single limited unit we'll be using for this team, starting with the Soaring Starfish, Easter Bunny SpongeBob, Olympian SpongeBob, Secret Agent Star, and finally the brand new Lionfish. Yep, as you can see here, basically every single unit is already fully maxed out other than the Secret Agent Star that's only level 30. So real quick before we start this first round, we'll definitely feed it up to level 50 right away. Yeah, here it is right here. I guess we'll just add a ton of jellyfish patties until it is level 50. So nice, already it's level 40. And just like that, after around a million XP is that, we got it to level 50. So yeah, basically our entire team is fully maxed out other than this Secret Agent Star since it's impossible to get a shiny wumbo version. So without any waiting, let's just see exactly how far this team can get on Endless Mode A right away. Here we go. Obviously, for this one game, we'll definitely make sure to fully auto skip the entire time, and we ended up bringing a Krusty Krab just to make sure we can farm up enough money to place down and max out all these units right away. And yeah, by way 4, we must just place down the start unit, and I suppose we'll just use the maxed out Olympian SpongeBob to do so. By wave 6, it seems we can max out every single Krusty Krab, and now we can definitely start placing down everything. Starting with, I suppose, the Secret Agent Stars, since, yeah, these guys have a line attack, which is why we're going to place it down exactly right over this way. Since each of these do have Neptune's crown as well, we can actually place down a total of 3 of them. And you have already in level 0 is doing 10,500 damage, has a 0.6 second cooldown, and then 42 range. We can already instantly max out one though, and when max out does 21,000 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown, and then 56 range. Yeah, now we can just instantly max out the other 2 just so we can start working on our next limited units. So yeah, there's all 3 instantly maxed out by wave 16. It seems like the range can basically cover the entire map too, since it basically reaches this corner as well as this one over this way, and it reaches all this back portion. And now that we max out all the Agent Stars, we might as well just start with the OG one, the Soaring Starfish. Yeah, when maxed out, this one actually does have a total of 64.4 range, which is why we'll place one right there, a second one over this way, and a third right over here. And yep, already in level 1, this one's doing 12,836 damage, has a 0.6 second cooldown, and then 64.4 range. Instantly, by wave 25, we can max out our first one, and when maxed out, has 22,972 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown, and then 83.9 range. Now that that unit's maxed out, though, we can definitely instantly max out the other 2, so there's 2 out of 3 max, and finally 3 out of 3 by wave 29. And this one also basically covers the entire map as well, which is exactly what we needed to happen. Now that that one's maxed out, though, we can definitely max out the Easter Bunny SpongeBob, which I suppose we'll just place right over here, maybe. And let's see, when maxed out, does it reach all these corners? Okay, perfect, it does. Yeah, when maxed out, does 12,100 damage, has a 0.2 second cooldown, and then 51.6 range. Now we can definitely place and max down the other 2 right away, though, starting with one over here, as well as the second one over this way. So there's both placed, and there is both fully maxed out. Now that we have that unit maxed out, though, we can definitely start maxing out the Lionfishes, which are basically going to have infinite range, since, yeah, when maxed out, they go all the way up to 98.9 range. And in total, they do 40,800 damage, and they have a 0.5 second cooldown. There's all 3 placed, and there's all 3 maxed. And last but not least, we just need to max out 3 of the Olympian SpongeBobs. Yeah, these ones as well should have infinite range when maxed out, as yeah, when maxed out does 33,660 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown, and then 83.9 range. Probably one of the best units that we are bringing with us this entire video, and yeah, now let's just place down the other 3 just like that. And finally, last by wave 50 on the dot, we are fully maxed out with every single unit. All we really need to do at this point is figure out exactly how much damage we're doing a second, starting with adding up how much damage each of these units are doing a second alone. So yeah, let's definitely pull out the calculator right away. And let's just start with the most OG one, the Soaring Starfish. Yeah, if we put those numbers into a calculator by doing 22,972 divided by that 0.5 second cooldown, we're looking at roughly 45,000 damage per one. Now let's do unit number 2 that was limited, that which is the Easter Bunny SpongeBob. So if we put a calculator once again and we do 12,100 damage divided by a 0.2 second cooldown, we're looking at 60,000 damage a second. Now let's bring out unit number 3, that of which was probably actually the Olympian SpongeBob. So here's the calculator once again, and if we do 33,660 damage divided by 0.5, we're looking at roughly 67,000 damage. Third on the list was obviously the Agent Star. So if we do 21,100 divided by that 0.5 second cooldown, we're looking at 42,000 damage. Last but not least on the list, we definitely need to calculate how much damage the sea lions are doing. So yep, let me click on one just like that. And if we do a total of 40,800 damage divided by that 0.5 second cooldown. Once again, these ones are doing 81,000 damage, 600. Now we need to figure out exactly how much damage we're doing in total, starting with lining them up from least to most amount of damage. And yep, now that we have them all lined up just like that, we can pull out one final calculator. And yep, with this calculator right here, we can do 42,000 plus 45,944 plus 60,500 plus 67,320 and finally plus 81,600. We're looking at a grand total of 297,364 damage. But that's not all. Since we have 3 of each of them placed, we can do that number times 3, and we're looking at 892,000 damage a second. Yeah, that is a crazy amount of damage to be doing a second. Oh my goodness. Yeah, now we're already closing on wave 100, so we're pretty much guaranteed to at least make it to wave 400, if not wave 500 or 600, as now we're 3 waves away from wave 100 on the dot. And now we're only 2 waves away from wave 100. 1 wave away, and boom. Actually, on wave 99, we have our first giant dirty bubble spawning in for this video. And yep, it goes instantly with 24,000 health, and nice. Now we made it to wave 100. Yeah, I think for this first game, we'll definitely make sure to commentate over every single dirty bubble that spawns in. Starting with this first one on wave 104 with 12,000 health. On wave 109, we had a medium-sized one also spawn in, and boom, just like that, now we made it to wave 110. I'll see you guys on wave 113, because that's when the next giant dirty bubble spawns in. Oh, shoot, I literally missed it. Yeah, it spawned in and instantly died too. Yikes, I meant to show it. Whoops, alright, whatever. I guess now we're 3 waves away from wave 120, and 2 waves away, and yeah, there goes our next smaller dirty bubble over here. Now we're only 1 wave away from wave 120, though. And boom, just like that, we officially made it to wave 120. There goes our next medium-sized one on wave 123. And now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 130. And we already have our next giant dirty bubble spawning on this wave too. Yep, there it is right then and there with 35,000 health instantly dying. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130 though. And 1 wave away. And bang, now we officially made it to wave 130. On wave 132, there goes another smaller one instantly too. And now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 140, and we had a medium-sized one spawning with 22,000 health instantly died too. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 140 though. 1 wave away. And boom, now we officially made it to wave 140. On wave 141, we had a giant one spawn in and instantly still die. And on wave 146, we had a smaller one with just barely 20,000 health instantly died here too. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 150 and 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And bang, now we officially made it to wave 150 on the dot. Here comes our next medium-sized one with 26,000 health still dying right here. As well as another giant one with 55,000 health dying over this way again. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 160 and 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And boom, now we finally made it to wave 160. There goes another smaller one on wave 160, as well as another medium-sized one with 32,000 instantly dying again. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 170 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and actually on wave 169 we have another giant one spawning in, this time with 60,000 health instantly dying right here. Just like that though, now that we took out the boss, now we made it to wave 170. And on wave 174 we had a smaller one with almost 30,000 health instantly die right here, as well as another medium-sized one spawning with 38,000 health dying over this way. Just like that though, now we made it to wave 180, as well as another giant one, or I guess, yeah, another giant one spawning in on wave 183 and instantly dying still. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 190 though, and here comes our final small dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200. Yep, with 35,000 health instantly dying over that way. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 190 though, and 1 wave away. And bang, now we finally made it to wave 190. There goes our final giant, or I guess no, a medium-sized dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200. And now we're 5 waves away from wave 200, and 4 waves away, and 3 waves away. Here comes our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 200 with 87,000 health instantly dying right here. But now we're 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 200. On wave 202, there goes another smaller one instantly over here. And on wave 207, we have another medium-sized one dying over this way with 55,000 health. But bang, now we finally made it to wave 210 on the dot. On wave 211, we have another giant one spawning in too. So yeah, there it is right then and there with 100,000 health finally at last, still instantly getting deleted. I'll take it. Just like that though, on wave 216, we have another smaller one instantly dying over here with over 55,000 health. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 220 and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, we officially made it to wave 220 on the dot. There goes another medium-sized one with 66,000 health over here, as well as another giant one spawning in with 125,000 health on wave 225. But now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 230. There goes another smaller one with 62,000 health in the front, as well as another medium-sized one with 79,000 health instantly dying over here. But now we're already 3 waves away from wave 240, 1 wave away, and bang, there goes another giant one on wave 239 with 150,000 health, and nice, now we made it to wave 240. On wave 244 though, we have another smaller one with 74,000 health, and on wave 249 we had a medium-sized one die over here. At last though, now we made it to wave 250, meaning we're a fourth of the way there to wave 500, or wave 1000. But on wave 253, we had another giant one reaching over 180,000 health. There goes another smaller one with over 80,000 health on wave 257. And now we made it to wave 260. But on wave 263, we had our first medium-sized one to reach over 100,000 health dying over here. On wave 267, we have our first one to reach over 200,000 health, and that was a giant dirty bubble. But boom, now we made it past wave 270. There goes our small dirty bubble to reach over 100,000 health on wave 272, as well as another medium-sized one with 138,000 health dying right here. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 280 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we officially made it to wave 280. There goes our next giant one reaching 260,000 health over here though. On wave 286, we have our first small dirty bubble to reach over 125,000 health dying right here, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 290, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we officially made it to wave 290. Now we're 5 waves away from wave 300 though, and on wave 295 we have our first giant dirty bubble to reach over 300,000 health. Yeah, this time I made it right here, and now we're 4 waves away from wave 300, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, we officially made it to wave 300 on the dot. Yeah, on wave 300 we had our first small dirty bubble over this way, as well as another medium-sized one with almost 200,000 health dying right here. And on wave 309, we have a giant one reaching 375,000 health dying right this way. Just like that, now we made it to wave 310 on the dot, and we're already making decent progress of making it to wave 500. On wave 313, there goes another smaller one with 185,000 health over here. And on wave 319, we had another medium-sized one with over 200, or oh wait, maybe that was over 300,000. I honestly lost track, but now we made it to wave 320. And on wave 323, we had our first medium-sized, or I guess giant one, to finally make some progress all the way over this way this time. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 330 though, and actually on wave 327 or 328, we had a next one with over 200,000 health. That was a smaller one. But now we're only 1 wave away from wave 330, and boom, now it's skipped to wave 330. On wave 333 though, we had a medium-sized one die right here, as well as another giant one spawning with 540,000 health when we're 3 waves away from wave 340, dying right this way. Now we're 2 waves away though, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 340. On wave 342 though, we had a smaller one die right here, and on wave 347 we had a medium-sized one die right this way, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 350, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice, now we officially made it to wave 350. There goes our next giant dirty bubble with 648,000 health over here though by wave 351. But on wave 356, we had another smaller one die over this way. Now we made it to wave 360 on the dot. But on wave 361, we had a medium-sized one reach over 400,000 health, still dying over here. Here comes our next giant one reaching 778,000 health, making it right this way though. But now we're only 3 waves away from wave 370, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we officially made it to wave 370. And actually on wave 370, there goes our next smaller one with 384,000 health, as well as another medium-sized one with almost 500,000 health, making it to where the Krusty Krabs are. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 380 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 380 as soon as we take out this next one with 900,000 health right in front of the Patrick's house. Wow. 383 though has another smaller one almost reaching 500,000 health, also dying right here. But on wave 389 we have a medium-sized one with almost 600,000 health dying right over here. Just like that, now we made it to wave 390 though, meaning we're already closing up on wave 400. In fact, here comes our final giant dirty bubble with over 1.1 million health before we make it to wave 400, dying right here. Yeah, now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles, as now we're 5 waves away from wave 400. and 4 waves away, 3 waves away, 2, 1, and bang, nice. Now we made it to wave 400. Yeah, like I said, now we're gonna stick to every single medium-sized dirty bubble like that one with 700,000 health from now on, as well as every single giant one like this one with 1.35 million health dying right here. Finally, last though, we ended up making it to wave 410. But on wave 417, now we're 3 waves away from wave 420, and we had our next medium-sized one make it to Patrick's house too. Now we're 2 waves away though, 1 wave away, and bang, nice. Now we finally made it to wave 420. There goes another giant one with 1.6 million health, this time finally making it to the intersection. But now we made it to wave 430 with another medium-sized one finally reaching 1 million health dying right here. On wave 435, we have another giant one almost reaching 2 million health, this time making it past Squidward's house. But now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 440, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice. Now we finally made it to wave 440 on the dot. On wave 445, we have a medium-sized dirty bubble reaching 1.2 million health, dying right before Patrick's house. And now we finally made it to wave 450 as soon as we take out this next giant one reaching over 2 million health, dying right on this corner right here. Yep, just like that, it finally came to wave 450. And on wave 459, we have another medium-sized one making it into the intersection. At least now we finally made it to wave 460, so we should be guaranteed to make it to wave 500. As yep, here comes the next giant dirty bubble with 2.7 million health, this time making it past the corner all the way over here. Now we made it past wave 470. And on wave 473, we have our next one reaching 1.7 million health, this time dying over here. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 480. And here comes our next giant one with 3.3 million health, and this one's gonna make it almost to this corner. In fact, yeah, past the corner, this time dying right here. That's definitely a new record for sure. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 480 though. And 1 wave away. And bang, now we finally made it to wave 480. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 490, and we have our next medium-sized one with 2 million health, dying right here. But boom, now we made it to wave 490. Here comes our next giant dirty bubble. We'll finally reach over 4 million health, this time down to 3, 2, 1, and yep, dying a little bit past that corner over here. But now we're finally 3 waves away from wave 500, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, somehow, someway, we ended up making it to wave 500, meaning we're officially halfway of the way there to wave 1000. Getting there is definitely going to be tough though, since now we have a medium-sized dirty bubble with 2.5 million health reaching this corner, as well as another giant one reaching 4.8 million health over this way. And yeah, let's see how far this one's gonna get. Yeah, wow, this one made it all the way out here, all the way to here. That was definitely really close, but luckily we were still good to get it, so we should be able to make it to wave 600, as now we're 3 waves away from wave 510, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice. Now we officially made it to wave 510 on the dot. Here comes our next medium-sized one reaching over 3 million health, this time dying right here though. And on wave 519, we have another one reaching over 5 million health, but now it's below 5 million. 4, 3, 2, 1. And wow, yeah, that was the closest one yet. It made it all the way out here, but now we finally made it to wave 520. At wave 529 though, we have another one spawning in with 3.6 million health, and yeah, this one's gonna make it even further than the last medium-sized dirty bubble dying right this way. But boom, now we also made it to wave 530. On wave 533, we have another medium-sized one. Oh no, this is a giant one with 6.9 million health, that of which we got below 6 million, 5 million, 4, 3, 2, 1, and well, yeah, that is the closest one yet. Yeah, this time it made it all the way out here. Wow, that was close. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 540 at last, so we're about to make it to wave 550. Yeah, now we're 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice. Now we made it to wave 540. On wave 543, we have another medium-sized one with 4.4 million health, and this one's even gonna make it out of the intersection right in between Squidward's house and Patrick's house. Dang. On wave 547, now we're 3 waves away from wave 550, and we have another one reaching over 8 million health, but now it's below 8 million as well as 7 million. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, it's gonna be so close. Dang it. With a little bit over 1 million health they got on pass. And yeah, now we're down to 65 health, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 550. And 1 wave away. And nice. At least we were able to make it to wave 550. I'll take it. Yeah, here comes our final small dirty bubble before we end up losing with over 4 million health. And even the small dirty bubble is gonna die right over this way, right around here. And then we have our final medium-sized dirty bubble before we make it to the end wave 2. Yeah, this one has over 5 million health, and this time it's gonna make it to this corner and even past it right over here, but boom, now we made it to wave 560, and oh boy, here we go, with 9.99 million health on it, we have one final giant dirty bubble to try to take out, even though we already have a bunch of big slow enjoys also making it extremely far now too. Yeah, I think at this point we are honestly dead just to one of the big slow anchovies getting on by it, if not both of them getting on past. As yeah, each big slow anchovy does 500,000 health, and yeah, one is definitely gonna get on by just like that, and yep, now we're down to 15 health and GG's. 560 waves beaten with the limited team. That is honestly really solid. I'll take it. Yeah, after every single round, we'll definitely have a leaderboard up on screen for how far each rarity gets, and right now the limited team is in first place with 560 waves beaten. Next up right after it, it's definitely time to test out the full team of secrets. And for this team, I think I definitely want to be using Dennis, Spongehenge, Hashling and Slasher, Dream Gary, and finally a maxed out Dungeon Master. And yeah, same for this team. We won't have a fully maxed out team. One of them won't be 5-star or anything like that. Or sorry, won't be Shiny Wumbo or anything like that. As, yep, there's the final team right then and there. We obviously do have a Dream Gary with only level 43 and not Shiny Wumbo, just Shiny. So without any waiting, let's just see exactly how far I can get. Let's see if we can beat wave 560. Let's do this. And yep, for this one game, we'll definitely make sure to auto-skip yet again the entire time. And this time, just barely by wave 4, we'll be able to place down one of our Dream Garys over this way just to make sure we don't take any early game damage. Because of that, though, it took us one extra wave to actually max out every single farm. But just like last time, now it is most definitely time to place and max everything else, starting with 3 of these, or I guess 2 of these Dungeon Masters over here. So there's both placed, and there's the first one instantly maxed out. Yeah, when maxed out, it's doing roughly 816,000 damage a second, and it has 114 range, which is honestly crazy. I mean, look at that range, bro. It covers easily the entire map. Yeah, on top of that, though, we can definitely instantly max out the second one, so now we have both of those units maxed out. And you know what, yeah, next up, let's just max out these Spongeheads. Yeah, these guys are absolutely gigantic, but we'll just fit in both over this way just like that. And yep, when maxed out, let's see. Oh yeah, well, hold on. These guys actually will take a little bit extra to upgrade, so there we go. By wave 18, we maxed out one. And when maxed out does 221,760 damage, has a 0.5 second cooldown and then 93.6 range. Now we can definitely instantly max out the second one though over this way just like that. So by wave 21, we maxed out that one. Now that we have the Spongehenge and the Dungeon Master fully maxed out though, we can definitely start working on the Hashling and Slasher, which I guess we'll just place one over here, and then the second one over this way. Yeah, on level 0, these ones doing our 100,007 damage, and adds 160 damage on top of that with a 0.4 second cooldown and then 64.4 range. When maxed out though, it's doing 191,760 damage, it still has that 0.4 second cooldown, but now it's 83.9 range. Now that we have one maxed out though, we can obviously just instantly max out the second one just like that. And now we might as well max out both of the Dennis's too. Yeah, we'll just place down the first one over here, as well as I suppose the second one over this way. And yeah, there's both of these ones instantly maxed out. Yeah, when maxed out does 204,000 damage, a 0.5 second cooldown, and then 88.1 range. Just like that though, we can instantly max out the second, and oh my goodness, there's way too many particle effects, bro. Let's turn off low G effects, much better. Yeah, last but not least, we definitely need to just max out both of the Dream Garys. And I suppose for the first one, we'll just place it right about there. Actually, well, now we'll sell that one and instead place it right over this way, just to make sure it covers all the back area. And then we can place the max one more down over this way, which should be able to cover everything else that the other one didn't. Yep, that's perfect. Look, that one covers that much, and then this one covers everything else. Much better. Yeah, we already used this team in my video yesterday, so if you want to see how much damage in total each one is doing, and how much damage the total amount is doing, definitely make sure to watch that video instead. But yeah, instead now we'll just fully focus on skipping every single wave. Yeah, there goes our first small dirty bubble by wave 48. And now we already made it to wave 50. And on wave 53, we already have our first medium-sized dirty bubble with 7,000 health instantly dying in the very front over here. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 60, and we have our first giant dirty bubble on this round too with 14,000 health instantly dying right here. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 60, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, we officially made it to wave 60 on the dot. On wave 61, we now have our first small dirty bubble instantly dying right here. Well, I guess technically that was our second one. But either way, by wave 67, we have another medium one dying over this way too. Just to be sure, let me double check every single unit to make sure it can cover the entire map, because that's definitely the most important thing out of anything we're doing right now. And okay, yep, I basically just double checked every single unit that is important, and yep, every single one does reach the entire map. Nice. Yeah, now we already passed wave 70, and on wave 71, we had our second giant dirty bubble with almost 17,000 health instantly dying right here. On wave 75, we had a smaller one with 8,000 health dying over this way. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 80. On wave 80, we had a medium-sized one with 10,000 health die right here. And on wave 85, we have a giant one spawning into it. This one has over 20,000 health on it. Yep, there it is right there, 20,305 to be exact. Still instantly getting spawn killed. Now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 90 though. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice. Now we officially made it to wave 90. There goes the final small dirty bubble before we make it to wave 100. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 100 and we just defeated the next medium-sized one. Now we're only 4 waves away though. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that we took out the final giant dirty bubble with over 24,000 out there on wave 99, and now we made it to wave 100. Already by wave 103 though, we have our next, or actually no, it's wave 104 is when our next small dirty bubble with 12,000 health spawned in, and yeah, that one instantly died. And on wave 108, we have another medium-sized one spawning in, this time with 15,000 health, also instantly dying. Just like that though, now we made it to wave 110. And on wave 113, we had another giant one spawning with almost 30,000 health, instantly dying too. But now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 120. And there goes another small dirty bubble with 14,000 health, but now we're 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and boom. Just like that, we made it to wave 120. There goes another medium-sized one on wave 123. And by wave 127, we have another giant one spawning in. And yeah, now we're 3 waves away from wave 130. Either way though, it is the first one to reach over 30,000 health with 35,000 to be exact. And now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130. And 1 wave away. And boom, just like that, we finally made it to wave 130. There goes another smaller one with 17,000 health on wave 132. As well as another medium-sized one with 22,000 health. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 140 though. 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And bang, nice. Now we made it to wave 140. There goes another giant dirty bubble with 42,000 health in the very front. As well as another smaller one with 20,000 health on wave 146. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 150, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, now we made it to wave 150. There goes a medium-sized one on wave 151 with 26,000 health, as well as another giant one with 50,000 health on wave 155. Now we're already 3 waves away from wave 160, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 160 at last. Yeah, that one had 25,000 health on it though. And this time on wave 165, we had a medium-sized one instantly die right here. I'm pretty sure on wave 169 is when a giant one spawns in, and this one should have 60,000 health on it, so yeah, there it is right there. Nice, I was right. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 170, and on wave 174 we had another smaller one die over here, and on wave 179 we had a medium-sized one die over this way. But boom, nice, now we also made it to wave 180, and on wave 183 is when another giant one spawns in with over 70,000 health over here. It's still getting spawn kill though, that's crazy good. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 190, meaning we're about to make it to wave 200, as now we're only 2 waves away from wave 190, and 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it past wave 190. There goes another medium-sized one with 46,000 health right here, and now we're only 5 waves away from wave 200. 4 waves away now as well, and now that we're 3 waves away, we have another giant one spawning in with over 84,000 health. Yep, 87,000 to be exact, dying right here, and now we're only 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 200. On wave 207, we have another medium-sized one still dying in the very front, and we already defeated our next smaller one too. But just like that, now we made it to wave 210, and on wave 211 is when our next giant one spawns in, and this is obviously the first one to reach over 100,000 health, still instantly dying. By wave 216, we have another smaller one with 50,000 health, instantly dying too, and now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 220, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 220 on the dot. There goes the next medium-sized one by wave 221. And by wave 225, we have another giant one spawning in, so there it is right then and there with 125,000 health. It still instantly dies though, bro. We're doing so good so far for sure. There's our next small dirty bubble by wave 230 though, as well as another medium-sized one with 80,000 health dying right here. Finally, by wave 239 though, we had another giant one spawning with 150,000 health, and on wave 244 we had another smaller one instantly die right here. Now we finally made it to wave 249 with another medium-sized one still dying in the very front. But boom, now we're a quarter of the way there to wave 1,000. There goes another giant one with 181,000 health by wave 253, as well as another smaller one by wave 258. Yep, there it is right there with 90,000 health. And now we also made it to wave 260. But on wave 263, we had a medium-sized one finally reach over 100,000 health on it as well. By wave 267, we had our first one to reach over 200,000 health, and now we're 2 waves away from wave 270. And 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 270. Here comes our next smaller one with finally reaching over 100,000 health, also dying right here. And there goes another medium-sized one with 138,000 health dying over this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 280 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, now we made it to wave 280. There goes another giant one with 260,000 all dying right here though, as well as another smaller one with 128,000 all die right here. We're closing in on wave 300 now, as now we're 3 waves away from wave 290, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 290. On wave 291, we had a medium-sized one with 165,000 all die right this way. And now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 300, and we have another giant one spawning in on this wave too with over 300,000 all dying over here this time. Now we're only 4 waves away from wave 300 though. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, we officially made it to wave 300 on the dot. And now I'm definitely done commentating over every single small deadly bubble that spawns in, like that one that just did right there. I mean, they're all basically still spawn killing in the very front, so there's no point in really me talking about them. So instead we'll focus on all the medium-sized ones that at least die a little bit past the cave, as well as every single giant one that spawns in like that one but with 375,000 health. Yeah, on wave 318 we have another medium-sized one with 238,000 health, and now we're already past wave 310, and boom, now we already made it to wave 320. On wave 323 is when another giant one spawns in, so there it is right there with 455,000 health still dying right this way. Now we already passed wave 330, but on wave 333 we had another giant one die right here. Oh wait, no, that was a medium-sized one. Yeah, now we're 3 waves away from wave 340, but here's the giant one with 540,000 health still dying right this way, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 340, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 340. 346 had another medium-sized one instantly die right here, and on wave 351 we had a giant one with 648,000 health. On wave 361 though, now we already beat the wave 350 and wave 360 waves, and we had another medium-sized one instantly die right here. And this time on wave 365 we had a giant one spawning with 778,000 health still die right this way. Now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 370 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, just like that, now we made it to wave 370. On wave 375 we had a medium-sized one die right here, and now we have another giant one spawning in with 379 waves beaten over here with over 900,000 health. Now we made it to wave 380. By wave 389 we had another medium-sized one die over here, but boom, now we made it to wave 390. Yeah, there goes another giant one finally reaching over 1.1 million health, and we're still spawn killing even by wave 394. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 400, and 4 waves away, 3 waves away, 2, 1, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 400. There goes our next medium-sized one with 700,000 health in the very front, as well as another giant one spawning in with 1.35 million health over here. Yeah, now we finally made it to wave 410 though. On wave 417 we had another medium-sized one die right this way, and bang, now we officially made it to wave 420. On wave 421 we had another giant one spawning in, finally making some progress with 1.6 million health since it died right this way. Yeah, now we finally made it to wave 430 though. And on wave 431 we had another medium-sized one finally reaching over a million health dying right here. On wave 435 we have a giant one spawning in with 1.9 million health dying over this way this time again. On wave 445 we had another medium-sized one spawning with 1.1 million health, and boom, on wave 449 we had a giant one spawning with 2.3 million health dying right here. At least now we finally made it to wave 450, and on wave 459 we had a medium-sized one with 1.4 million health die right this way, and nice, now we officially made it to wave 460. On wave 463 we had a giant one spawning with 2.8 million health dying right here, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 470. I'm pretty sure we did already take out our next, oh yeah, here it is, our next medium-sized dirty one with 1.7 million health. And on wave 477 we have our next one reaching 3.3 million health dying right here. This time by wave 487 we have our next one spawning with 2.1 million health dying right here. And finally last, by wave 491 we have a giant dirty bubble reaching 4 million health dying right here again. Yeah, now I think we're officially done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles that spawn in like this one right here, as well as every single medium-sized dirty bubble too. As now we're only 3 waves away from wave 500, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 500. Yeah, like I said, now we're definitely done commentating over all these small ones and the medium-sized ones like this one. And instead we're only going to focus on every single giant one like this one with 4.8 million health, this time dying right here. Now we already made it past wave 510 though. On wave 519 we have another giant one spawning in, this one with 5.7 million health dying right here. But boom, now we officially made it to wave 520, as well as wave 530. On wave 533 we have a giant one spawning in with 6.9 million health, this time dying right over here, right next to the Krusty Krabs. On wave 547 we have another giant one spawning in, this time with 8 million health, this time dying right in front of the Krusty Krab in the direct center, and now we're 2 waves away from wave 550, and 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 550, as well as Wave 560. Yeah, another giant one spawned on wave 561 with almost 10 million health, and this is the one that we died to last time, actually. Yeah, it was easily able to get taken out right here. That definitely decides that secrets are far better than limiteds, but now we need to figure out exactly how much better they truly are. Now we already made it to wave 570, though, and on wave 575, we have our first one to reach almost 12 million health. Yeah, this one's also going to make it fairly far, this time right about here, but it's still really not that far at all. Now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 580, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 580. Now we finally made it to wave 589 with our next one with 14 million health. And yeah, this one's gonna make it a lot further than last time, right around here. Dang, that is a big jump for sure. At least now we finally made it to wave 590. And now we're 5 waves away from wave 600. 4 waves away. 3, 2, 1, and boom. Just like that, we officially made it to wave 600 on the dot right then and there. Wow. Yeah, wave 1000 might genuinely be possible. If we were able to defeat every single enemy in this short meta stretch here in the first 600 waves, I think it could honestly happen. Either way though, here comes our next giant one with 17,000 or 17 million health on it. And yeah, for the first time ever after 603 waves, they are going to cross this intersection, this time dying over this way. Now we finally made it to wave 610. And by wave 617, we have another giant one with 20 million health. Yeah, honestly, at this point, since they continuously make it further and further every single time they spawn in, I think we'll only commentate over the giant dirty bubbles. So this one right here. And by wave 631, we have another one spawning in, this one with 24 million health, this time dying on this corner right about here. By wave 645, we have another one, this time with almost 30 million health, but now it's already below 20 million health and 10 million health all the way over here. And this time, this one's gonna get past the intersection slightly, all the way right around here. Wow, that was close. By wave 659, we have another one spawning in with 35 million health, and finally it's starting getting slowed over here, and now it's below 30 million and 20 million. 10 million where it died last time, 5 million in between Patrick and Squidward's house, and yep, this time it's gonna die right over here. By wave 673, we have another one spawning in with 42 million health, and yeah, we already got it below 40 million, and finally it's starting to get slowed over this way, and now it's down to 30 million. 20 million where it died last time, 10 million a little bit before the corner, and wow, yeah, this one also made it very far. I think we might be able to make it to wave 700 though, as now we're around 25 away there. On wave 687 though, we have another giant one finally reaching over 550 million health. And yeah, we already got it below 50, 40, and now 30 million as soon as it starts getting slowed once again all the way down over here. But now it's down to 20 million health, 10 million, and finally at last, just barely by this corner over this way, we defeated it. Now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 700 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, for the first time ever, we actually made it to wave 700. By wave 701 though, we have another giant dirty bubble reaching over 60 million health, but now it's below 60 million, 50 million, 40 million, 30, 20, 10, and finally 1 million health all the way down over here. Jeez, that was another close game. On wave 715, we have another one spawning in, this time with 74 million health, but now it's below 70 million, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and wait, I think just barely we are going to be able to take it out. Nice, yeah, this time it's going to die all the way over here, so we might be able to make it to wave 750 still. On 729, I'm pretty sure is when our next giant one spawns in, so yeah, there it is right there with 89 million health. And I doubt we'll be able to get this one considering even the medium-sized dirty bubble didn't die all the way until here. But you never know, it could happen, man. I mean, we did already get it below 80 million health. 70. And wait, I just realized it's actually getting slowed even more than the other one was. Yeah, now it's down to 60. Oh, never mind. Okay, it's going max speed once again, and now it's down to 60 million. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Oh, it's gonna be so close. I don't think we're gonna get it though. No, with 3 million health. Dang it, so close. Yeah, now we're officially down to 65 health by wave 730. By wave 7043, we finally have our first giant dirty bubble ever in existence reach over 100 million health. In fact, yeah, I don't think anyone has ever seen a giant dirty bubble with over 100 million health on it. That is crazy. Yeah, obviously there's no way we're going to be able to defeat it, but as long as we take care of every single big slow anchovy that's getting extremely far now, I think we might actually be able to make it to wave 750. Yeah, it's definitely going to be close whether or not we take out all of these guys. Oh my goodness, wait, are we going to be able to? Wait, hold on, it's actually going to be so close. Wait, what the heck? Yeah, I did not expect it to be this close. We still need to take out all of these guys in the very back over this way, but yeah, wait, hold on. Wait, come on, alright, please tell me we can make it to wave 750, please. That is my only goal right now. 750 waves, please, please, please. Wait, I think it's gonna happen. Yeah, most of the big slow anchovies are low. Yeah, nice. Wait, come on. Yes, there we go. With 30 health left. But you're gonna be able to make it to wave 750 for the first time ever in this game's existence. Yeah, now we're 3 waves away from wave 750. And 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And bang, somehow, someway, we made it to wave 750. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we actually get an achievement badge for doing so too. We'll definitely have to check after this game. But I'll just see you guys once the next giant dirty bubble boss spawns in. See you guys soon. Yep, here we go. By wave 757, it did spawn in with 128 million health, but even the medium-sized one with 67 million health made it right here. So, yeah, we are guaranteed dead here. I mean, finally, at last, we got it below 100 million health, but there's no way we're going to be able to take it fully out. I'll take it, though. I think this is definitely the new Endless World record, and we'll definitely set it even higher in tomorrow's video, so stay tuned for that video. Yeah, in that video, we're going to use an even better team than this right here, so definitely make sure to see that video when it comes out, but finally, at last, we lost. Wow. Yeah, an hour and 4 minutes just from this one round. We got 756 waves beaten, 9 billion damage done in total. This is an insane run for sure. Yeah, before we check out our achievements, here's the final leaderboard. Now we have the Team Secrets in first place with 756 waves beaten. And way behind it in second place is obviously Team Limited with only 560 waves. Yeah, what a crazy ending for sure. Let's double check our achievements right now, and let's see. Yeah, Endless Wave, nice, we did complete it. Very cool. Yeah, now there's only one achievement left for Endless, which is Wave 1000, which is what we're gonna attempt to beat tomorrow. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because it helps me out a ton, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video very soon. Peace out, everybody. That's gonna be a banger.